My name is Matt Rathgeb, proud founder of Groovy Hues, and I am a born and bred Philadelphian. People always ask me how I got involved with painting and what the story is of Groovy Hues. Well, that story really started here behind me at my childhood row home in the Longcrest section of lower northeast Philadelphia. Yeah, it's cool to be back here in my driveway, better known as an alley when you grew up in the city. As you can see, the imprint of our basketball net's still here. Everyone seemed to have the same life. It was a simple life. And as I mentioned, you learn to work hard early on. One of the coolest things I feel about growing up in a small little neighborhood like this in the city was really the camaraderie and the friendships that you had when you were younger. I mean, there's really nothing like that. I think I learned lessons early on that still resonate today. It's definitely cool to be back here at the Longcrest Rec Center. You know, as a young teen, this could have been my address. I mean, this is where everyone hung out. We would play basketball in these courts all day, all night long, hang out in the grove over there, and just, you know, had no worries in the world. Didn't know anything else. As I got into my teen years, a little bit older, I kind of went down the wrong path. That path led to some hard years of addiction, but that addiction, thank God, led to recovery, and recovery led me to the painting industry. I met a guy that changed my life, who's still one of my best friends today, and that's kind of how I got birthed into painting.
Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, and it was a Tuesday night men's meeting. He had just come into the fellowship, and you know, he had the battle wounds and scars of being out there on the streets for quite some time. And I remember at the end of one of the meetings, he came up to me and he said, "You have any work? Can you give me a job?" And he had such an extraordinary intention to prove himself, to be a hard worker, to be, you know, to learn the trade. From that moment of starting your own business to right now, I've come to, again, be aware of the extraordinary gift that you have of running a business.
Over the years, from trial and error, and mostly failures, I kind of learned about, you know, what was the client experience like when they called us. Once I've kind of figured out what the 5 or 6 key components were when a person calls a company all the way through the job completion and post-sell, I was able to create a system and a process that were documented, trained on, and followed by the whole company. And this was what really set us apart and gave us that 5-star client experience that we've become known for. Aside from doing great quality work, which, as I mentioned, should be inevitable when you call a company like ours, in one word, it would be communication. It was the lack of communication, not just in my own company, but in the industry as a whole. And I thought, you know, we need to change that. From the first phone call to the long-term relationships that we're trying to build, we want to be able to be communicating with our clients with transparency the whole time. The thing that I'm most proud of everything is really the integrity of the company. I always jokingly say to the team and to our clients, we haven't done everything right, but we've always done the right thing. And ever since day one, when I was a one-man show, until this recording right now, we've always stood behind everything we've done. And again, we haven't done everything right. We made tons of mistakes, but we've always done right by our clients. And I've always been able to sleep 8 hours a night knowing that, you know, we don't know nobody anything. There's no unresolved issues or anything like that.